Steve the Collector, and today we're going to talk about something that's pretty frustrating. So I hope you're ready for a fun video. Ooh, yeah. No, let's talk about the latest Pokemon sets that are coming up because it's getting kind of crazy. I mean, we've been in this industry for 3-ish years now as a seller and as a company, and it's really just gone off the rails, I think, recently. Now, I as a seller, we love when sets are really hyped because we obviously can make more money and sell out of products faster. But at the same time, it makes it very hard to get product, and it makes it very hard to get product at a reasonable price to where we can sell it, at a reasonable price and not piss off all of our customers. So let's talk about it. So we've got Team Rocket, the new Team Rocket set coming up, the glory of Team Rocket. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. So I think before we jump into that, though, I kind of want to talk about the previous sets a bit more. We had kind of this whole hype train really take off with 151 a couple of years ago. The prices for that at launch were just insane. Over £100 a box for the Japanese set when it first came out. The English ETBs just selling for crazy money and still going for crazy money now. But yeah, it's kind of not dying off, I would say, but 151 is still reasonable now, right? You can get a box of Japanese 151 roughly £100 in Japan, get into the UK for 120, 150, somewhere in that range. It depends. It changes quite frequently, as you know. But that set's kind of, it's done its thing. The other set that was really crazy at launch and then kind of died off really quickly was V-Star Universe, but it's, that was a little before 151. I wouldn't say that really started the hype train, but that definitely led into it. Crown Zenith and V-Star were very popular sets, very hyped, but they didn't go to any kind of extreme like we see now. Then, jump forward a little bit, and you've got Terrestrial Festival and Prismatic Evolutions, which we're still reeling from Prismatic. We, as a company, don't have any Prismatic in stock right now that we're selling. We've got a few things we've kept aside for ourselves, just because it's so hard to get stock. But just to give you an idea, we order everything through the only official distributor for Pokemon in the UK. There's one distributor that distributes to all of the businesses in the UK on an official basis, direct from Pokemon, and we all get our stock from the same place. So at the moment, the way it works is that, when a new set is announced by Pokemon, usually within a few weeks or a couple months, the distributor is then able to start the pre-order process with the businesses like ourselves. So we'll place a pre-order, and then 3-6 months later, the product will come to us, 1 to 2 weeks before launch. That's the typical way it works. And Pokemon does this in every country with different distributors and whatever, right? But yeah, that's how it works in the UK. And it's been pretty smooth, with the exception of certain sets. Prismatic being one of those sets that has not been smooth at all. We did get quite a lot of product at the beginning. ETBs we got a lot of. We got a good amount of poster collections, binders a little bit, not so much, and tins not so much either. And then booster bundles as well just came recently. We barely got any of those. I think as a company we only got 3 cases, which sounds like a lot because it's what is that, 3 by 10, so 30 booster bundles in total. But if you think about how little that is, in the grand scheme of things, it's very small. So we got that. The thing we're still waiting on is surprise boxes, which has been delayed for like over a month now at distribution. So, but we do expect those to come this week. And then there's only, I think, one more Prismatic Evolutions box or product that's coming that we have orders in for. That's the EV pouch collection box. Oh, sorry, there was the special collection box as well, the EV special collection, whatever it's called. It's kind of like the ultra premium, but it's the special premium or something, whatever it is, right? So those are the only 2 products now that we have pre-orders in for Prismatic. And just to give you an idea of why this is a problem, so we, as a business, got all that stock in one go, one wave for each set, each product, I should say. So ETBs came in, well, technically 2 waves, but all within like 2 weeks. Okay, poster collections, same thing. Booster bundles, 1 wave. Everything's coming in one wave, basically within 2 or 3 weeks. You get all of what you've ordered in the initial wave, or what you're getting allocated in the initial wave. But what's happening now is that we can't pre-order any Prismatic Evolutions products. So, everyone's saying, Pokemon's put out an announcement. There's there's these, reprints coming. We're gonna, boosting, whatever stock deliveries, etc. That's not. It doesn't really affect us as a business until we see it, until we can pre-order it. We can't even back order products from Prismatic that we've already gotten in. So it's the same with Pokemon 151. We can't back order any Pokemon 151 products at all. I don't know if that means that it's going to be a year or 6 months or whatever until we get them in again, or if they're just cutting off the back orders so they don't flood their own systems as a distributor. But it's really interesting because I think a lot of people, they look at the stores and they say, oh, well, they're going to get a reprint, they're going to get a restock in 3 months or 6 months or something. We don't know when we're going to get a restock. That's the reality, is that there is no word from Pokemon. We can't back order anything from these sets, so it could be in 3 months, it could be in 6 months, it could be next year. And that's why I think a lot of stores and a lot of people are hoarding stock, sealed cases of product, because we just don't know when we're going to get it again. We haven't hoarded much. We've kept a very, very modest amount of stock aside, but it's literally like one case of this, one case of that. We don't have any ETBs at all in our own stock. We have no booster bundles at all in our own stock. We're completely out of stock for those two, and we don't know when we're going to get them again. So that's just kind of give you an idea of where we're at right now. Journey Together has been a little bit easier of a set, it seems like. The hype is there, but it's not nearly as bad as Prismatic was. But let's jump into the next thing. So the next thing on our radar, and on everybody's radar, is the glory of Team Rocket. In Japan, it's the glory of Team Rocket. In English and international, it's Destined Rivals. And Destined Rivals is made up of two Japanese sets, Heatwave Arena and the glory of Team Rocket. Okay, so Heatwave Arena already launching in Japan. It's got a lot of hype. It's been very overpriced. As an example, I think boxes are still going for over £100 or $100 in Japan, which means that by the time we bring it to the UK, or if you're in the US, you bring it to the US, as a seller, you're paying maybe 120, 130 with customs duties and shipping, and then you have to turn around and make a profit on that somehow. So it's a very expensive set. That's one half of the English Destined Rivals. The other half, the glory of Team Rocket. This is where I think everybody is going to lose their minds, because it's extremely sought after. It's got Team Rocket in the name. It's focused on, obviously, everybody's favorite mischief makers in Pokemon. And I think that set at the moment is just unattainable for most stores. We are able to get it from Japan at launch, but the costs are just astronomical for a Japanese set. If I were to bring it in right now from Japan, I couldn't sell it for less than £240 and make any money. Like I would be barely making any money at £240 a box. That's for one box of Japanese Pokemon packs. It's a standard set. That retail in Japan is what, £30-40, something like that, right? It's extremely low. So that's retail, and we're in the UK, can't even import it in and sell it for, I couldn't even sell it for £200 and make money. I would lose money at £200. So it's kind of insane. I'm still looking for additional sources. I'm sure other people have a little bit better sources than I do. But we do get a lot of products direct from Japan. We sell a ton of Japanese booster boxes, collection boxes, starter decks, packs, singles, everything. So we get a lot of products from Japan. And we're still not able to get it through our normal sources at a reasonable price. I do think that's going to change. I don't think the hype's going to last forever. I think it's this price is insane. If you're talking about somebody in the UK might have to spend £250,000, £250 on one Japanese booster box. That's not sustainable, and I don't think it's going to stay there for very long. But at the same time, I want to have the set at launch. I would love to have it for streaming or whatnot. I would love to have it for selling to regulars. Opening myself as well, because I would love to get some of the hits out of this set. It's going to be an amazing set. I just can't see us bringing in cases of this stuff, because a case costs us, £2,300 or £2,200, whatever it is, just to get it into the UK. That's 12 boxes. I can't, like I said, so I can't bring it into the UK and sell it at a reasonable price. And to me, it just doesn't, it kind of hurts. It doesn't hurt I don't think it really hurts the industry. I think it hurts the the playing base. So the people who just want the cards to play, or maybe the new collectors who just love Team Rocket and they just want to get their hands on it, right? But I think, as an industry, it doesn't really hurt us. It's just more about, we just have to tell our regulars and tell our friends and anybody that we that asks about it, that we just can't get it for them, and just be honest with everybody. I do think it will change, though. I think that those will go down. Now, another thing, and I get asked about it a lot, is, when are we going to get our allocation for Destined Rivals in English? And again, no, there's no pre-orders are available at this point. So, and I'm talking as of, March 17th. So the 17th of March, the set's supposed to launch May 30th. That's 2.5 months from now. We still don't have pre-orders available, and that's at the only distributor in the UK. So every store in the UK is sitting in the exact same position where you have no pre-orders available for Destined Rivals. You can't get the Glory of Team Rocket at a reasonable enough price to sell it here. So it's looking like one of those sets where you're just going to see very little of it in the UK. I imagine it's probably the same in the US. The Glory of Team Rocket and Destined Rivals are going to be two sets that, as soon as they hit websites, they're just going to be gobbled up by people who can afford it. But that's not my recommendation. I don't think that it's worth paying £250 for a box of Japanese Pokemon cards. Oh no, the phone fell. Phone fell there. So I don't think that it's a good price point. I don't think that we should be paying £250 for a Japanese box. Even if you're a diehard collector and you have to have that box for your collection, just wait. Give it a few months. It might drop, it might not, but at the end of the day, if you still have to pay $250 a year from now, then maybe that's the time you get it. But I don't think that you pay £250 on launch. It's just silly. Some people will because they need the content, or they need they just have to have it, right? But most of us can't afford £250 for a Japanese box. As much as I want to open it, it's just not going to happen. So I think, where does the future of Pokemon go, and what happens from here? It is going on the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, so you're going to see a lot of big sets coming over the next year. We've already had Terrestrial Festival and Prismatic Evolutions. We've got Glory of Team Rocket and Destined Rivals now hitting. There's going to be additional sets later this year and into next year that are just really sought after, very hyped. But I don't see it as really sustainable to continue with these kind of prices from Japan. The English prices, I think, are still going to be more reasonable. I think you're going to be able to find boxes of Destined Rivals for 200 or less in pounds. Maybe not at the very beginning of launch, but hopefully within a couple months of launch you'll start to see it. But then again, I just don't know. There's no crystal ball, and the way we've seen with Prismatic, I thought Prismatic would drop after 2 or 3 months. It's now been 2 months, and Prismatic's still not really dropping. The prices of the actual boxes, sealed boxes, and the packs remains pretty consistent. So I don't really see any changes in that. From a Pokemon, in either an investing or collecting standpoint, you're still going to pay a lot more than we were paying a year ago for the same kind of products. But I think it's just due to the nature of the beast. A lot more people are collecting, a lot more people are investing in Pokemon. There's probably more players as well. The new TCG app, I'm sure, has generated a lot more player base growth as well. So I guess just to kind of wrap it up, Destined Rivals and the Glory of Team Rocket, it's really, really tough. When I'm getting quoted 350,000 yen for a case of 12 Japanese booster boxes, you would expect those booster boxes to be 5, 6, 10 years old, not a new set that's coming out. And this is the pre-order for it. So and then when you factor in 20% customs and duty fees on top and shipping, you're talking about just crazy numbers for booster box. Probably 3 times what the retail cost is in Japan. I think it might even more. It's way more than that. It's way more than 3 times, isn't it? Because I think what's the math on it? I think retail in Japan is like 7,000 or 7,500 yen for a booster box. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about Destined Rivals, the English version of the Glory of Team Rocket and Heatwave Arena. Are you excited about these sets? Are you going to be looking to spend some money and get in early? Or are you going to try to wait, ride out the wave and see if it gets a little bit more affordable? Let us know in the comments. If you're interested in this kind of content, definitely say something in the comments as well so that I can make some more. I would love to get your feedback on how this video went. And if you're interested in purchasing anything from us, just say hey. We're at a ton of events. We own Card Collectors UK, so cardcollectorsuk.com is our business. But we also trade as Steve the Collector and Jazzy Girl at events. We're all over the UK all year long. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your week and good luck. You know, gotta catch them all, right? Yeah, Pokemon.